ladies and gentlemen, and being a producer of Wrestle Massacre as well as Inside Movies Galore, I am David Strege, and welcome to Delusions of Grandeur. Enjoy the reviews. I certainly did. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Delusions of Grandeur review. My name is David Strege, and here I have another review for you. This time of another David Sterling production directed by Mark Polonia. And originally this movie was called BattleBots. But during the purge of the Amazon independent films, it was said to have actually been similar to other things that they had on Amazon, and it was eventually taken down, or at least banned from Amazon in general. So what happened to the film was they renamed it and they distributed it separately. Now, I don't know whether this means anything, but Cinema Epoch has a name in here, as well as Cinema, or as well as David Sterling. But here is what the film looks like. So apparently something nuclear happened on Earth and destroyed Earth entirely. And there is a band of survivors and another band of another kind of people. And one is called the Resistance and one is called something else. And the guy that is supposed to be evil, his name is Caesar, which is kind of funny because there are several actors who were in a previous production of David Sterling's that was reminiscent of Planet of the Apes, called Empire of the Apes, that was also directed by Mark Polonia. So it's interesting that the evil guy, his name is, in fact, Caesar, and he's a hooded fella who is played by Jeff Kirkendall, who has acted in Empire of the Apes and several other Sterling productions, and seems to hold himself fairly well as an actor. And so in this post-apocalyptic world, there is a series of there is a group of people who have gathered together, and evidently do know that this Caesar guy has an army of robots at his command, and have resurrected a BattleBot, a robot that is huge and humongous, and it plans to take over the world and the universe with it. And so they have banded together to take him down, and this is pretty much the plot. So I do believe that there is the acting was pretty decent. We have Danielle Donahue as Luna, who is ultimately given over to Caesar to become his wife. So there is that part in the plot, and there's another woman played by Marie De Lorenzo, who plays Scorpion, and she is another character. But I like the steampunk look to the group of resistance characters. Drax is played by Tim Hatch, and he's the lead guy in here, and he's got this like cool, like horn looking like mask that kind of makes him kind of look inferior. So one thing I will say is that the beginning credits kind of reminded me of the way that they went up like that. They kind of reminded me of Star Wars, and the way some of the battling was portrayed, it kind of reminded me of Power Rangers a little bit. But in actuality, it's kind of like that Rock'em Sock'em robot toy that if you were a kid of any sort, you might have had it. And I actually had a type of type of toy like that, and I thought that the suits that were the robots were pretty cool. I thought the noises that went with the movements were pretty cool. I thought that the CGI moments of fire and when the weapons went off, I thought that worked well in this film. So there were a couple of moments where like I noticed continuity, where when Caesar sent his robots off to find people, or sent them off to do something. You saw the same scenes, so that might get a little, annoying to some people. But I thought it went with what they were doing. It's a relatively low budget, so of course there's going to be some reused footage. But altogether, I thought it wasn't a bad entertaining film, at least for a one-time watch. It was definitely better than some of the films I have seen that have been under David Sterling's production values. So I think that it was a well shot film, and with a decent storyline, and it could very well be followed. Now, because of the Empire of the Apes reference, I do believe that there were some people that looked like apes that was under Caesar's reign and with those robots. So I wonder if they're kind of going to be connecting somewhere down the road. In any case, definitely take a look at this film. It wasn't too bad. I was fairly entertained by it, and I wouldn't be surprised if this world was returned to in the future. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Appreciate your time spent on my page. The only thing is, if you get a copy of David Sterling's Robowar, Again, here it is. There's a director's commentary that doesn't really talk about the film itself. It actually talks about Mark Polonia's experiences with David Sterling through the years. I wish it would have went more towards um, what certain scenes were, where they were filmed, et cetera, because that's what you're looking for. But it was interesting to hear the history of his partnership with David and how he got involved with him and so on and so forth, and how he got involved with certain people in this film. I wish it would have focused more on the film, but that is pretty much what the director's commentary is. So, in any case, thank you for listening. Appreciate your time spent, and hopefully you found this helpful to you. I just enjoy describing films, and if I like them or hate them, sometimes I say, sometimes I don't. It all depends on whether there was enough for me to get mad at the film for. In any case, thank you for listening. Appreciate the time.